I'm currently on a quest for my next creative passion. Your girl loves to say I'm not an artist, I'm a hobbyist. And sure, true, but why not both? Well, because I don't have a medium yet, that's why we're here. Welcome to part 3 in my passion mini-series, where I am exploring new hobbies in the hopes that they may develop into passions. Today, we are tackling rug tufting. If you've seen, honestly, any one of my videos, you probably know I'm a big fan of textile crafts like latch hook rug making. Now, while I do love latch hook for a brain off hobby, well, it's not a fast process. It genuinely takes me months to finish each kit, which for entertainment is great value for money, but for a creative passion to sink my teeth into, unfortunately, I am a bit of an instant gratification gremlin. I want to design something and see it come to fruition within the week, really. So rug tufting has been on my radar, and when today's sponsor Clawlab offered to send me a beginner kit, what was I gonna do? Say no? In my first video of this series, I laid out a framework for myself to explore new passions, and we're going to be following that today. If you want more information on the why behind these steps, go watch that video. But basically, because this hobby is totally new to me, my goals are 1, to get comfortable with the equipment and technique, 2, to make something cute, of course, and 3, to suss out if there is passion potential. So let's get into it. I'm using the Clawlab Tufting Kit H1 Lite, which comes with a tufting gun, a multi-pack of yarn, monk cloth, backing cloth, a frame, and this for me is the most exciting part actually. I've looked into rug tufting before, and the thing that always held me back was having to build my own frames. You guys saw the absolute mess I made out of craft wood earlier in this series. Imagine me with actual tools. The kit also comes with handy tools like a needle threader and a yarn feed clip. Basically, this is just everything you need to do rug tufting in one handy box. Actually, minus glue. Adhesive does still need to be bought separately. Still, this is perfect to hit the ground running. For each hobby that I try, the first step in my framework is practice runs. These are basically just opportunities for me to get to know the technique and equipment a bit better before I shoot for something more ambitious, only to fall flat on my face and skulk away in shame, never to reopen my craft closet. So the first thing I had to do was set up my workstation. Like I mentioned earlier, a big draw for me with this kit was the frame. Unlike a lot of frames that take forever to build up, this sets up in just 5 to 6 minutes. Plus, as you can see, you can clamp this, well, I mean pretty much anywhere. For getting the fabric ready, also not a challenge. While a lot of frames need nails to stretch the fabric, the Clawlab frame comes with clips to keep everything in place. Which is great because my cat is always obsessed with me when I'm crafting, so I don't want to be using nails around her, to be honest. Now, I have never used a tufting gun before, so my practice runs were literal practice runs. Clawlab were kind enough to send me extra fabric, so the swatch that came with the kit, I just used it to play around with really. The technique itself is actually very simple. So you thread the gun with yarn, turn it on, twist the dial to set the speed, and while you're learning, it's recommended to start slow. Position your gun on the canvas at a 90-degree angle, and you actually want to push the needle head through the canvas, and then press the on button and start tufting. This gun, by the way, is super lightweight. A lot of tufting guns look like caulking tools, so I was expecting something quite clunky, but this is really easy and comfortable to hold. And with all the mechanics nice and neatly enclosed in the gun, this feels super safe to use, even when my cat is being nosy. With tufting, you want to go from the bottom up, and it's easiest to draw straight lines. Now, I knew that going in, so I drew some different shapes to try filling out, like a simple grid, something angular, and something curved. And look, the curve is way above my current ability, but the simpler lines were fine. By the end of this session, I was actually very pleased with my progress. I felt like I had a decent grip on at least the easiest part of the technique, and I was comfortable with the equipment. Wins all round. So of course, that's when I went off the deep end. For my second practice run, I wanted to try something bigger, something, dare I say, rug-like. If you're a regular to this channel, first of all, thank you, appreciate you, but you may remember that I recently got a puppy named Frankie. Now, while to us humans he is adorable, albeit loud, we are not a human-only household, and Frankie has not yet won over our cat. It's not all-out beef, thank God, but being the dignified creature that she is, our cat just prefers to avoid the loud, smelly things downstairs. She has never avoided a soft surface once in her life, however, so I thought I could sneak attack her with a sausage dog by making a sausage dog rug. I drew a loose design, trying to keep it quite big and blocky, and look, I gave it a crack. I truly did. I even finished the rug. And my cat likes it, see? But remember our 3 goals. The rug is finished, but it is not my standard of cute. I fear this was too much too soon. I did learn a few things though. Yarn goes a lot quicker than I anticipated. I actually ran out of the white background color. And I definitely set this frame up in the wrong spot. When you're tufting, again, you want to hold the gum perpendicular to the canvas at a 90-degree angle. And I use the edge of my craft desk, which is too low to comfortably stand, but it's also somehow not the right height for sitting. And with the smaller test runs, I didn't notice as much, but for this bigger workspace, I definitely felt that awkwardness. Still, Mama didn't raise a quitter, and we have a goal to hit. Taking everything I learned from my first 2 attempts, my third practice run had a few differences. 1, I moved the frame. The frame setup overall was very easy and quick, but once you've set it up, you can literally just like carry it around and move it anywhere. It's very handy. So I switched it over to my standing desk, which was a way more comfortable work angle. Guys, I am 27, okay, and my back feels every one of those years. 2, I simplified my design a lot. 3, we're going floral, flowers never steer me wrong. And 4, I got some extra yarn colors, which I guess is a sign I'm enjoying tufting. For this design, I played it safe and went for pansies because, I mean, they're basically just big blobs, and big blocks of color haven't been too difficult so far. While a pansy was the shape base, because again, easy, I did take an opportunity to play with colors and detailing here. And side note, I also started using the second gun handle and successfully tufted curved lines. Yep, that was me. Hello. And I am pleased to report we have made something cute. So, what can a total beginner make using this kit and a few hours of spare time? Well, let's see. Now, the second half of my framework for finding a passion is the big project. And look, I have a big rug making project in mind, it's on the horizon, but the purpose of the practice runs is to get fully comfortable with a hobby before tackling the big project. And while we've definitely made progress with rug tufting, we're not there yet. I am still scared by the thought of a curved line. I did have a very fun time, however. And with 2 small furry creatures that love rugs in our home, I am already thinking of my next project, so I'm definitely looking forward to trying tufting again, which is a promising sign. If you're interested in trying rug tufting yourself, I honestly really rate this kit, but there are some things to be aware of, so let's give it a quick review. First of all, 100% beginner friendly. I mentioned it briefly earlier in the video, but rug tufting is something that has been on my radar. I was a crafty girl who lived through COVID, okay? Of course it was on my radar, but I always opted against it for a few reasons. Basically, I know my finickiness, barrier to entry tolerance, and there were 2 things that I just knew would stop me from picking the craft up. Those being the massive confusing tufting guns that looked heavy and hard to set up, and 2, having to build and assemble my own frame, especially when I was living in a really small apartment. So I would recommend this kit purely on those 2 factors alone. The Clawlab gun is clearly designed with comfort and ease in mind. It's really lightweight and easy to use, and it also comes with a second handle which allows you to hold it steady with both hands. I tried it both ways just to see if there was a benefit, and can confirm it made a massive difference. And same goes for the frame. This is very simple to use and set up. Now, on the frame, that is one thing to be aware of. The kit I'm using is the H1 Lite, which has a smaller frame, ideal for home use and small spaces, but if you want to create big pieces, it's not going to work for that. So just bear that in mind. And kind of same goes with the supplies. They're great quality. There's everything you need to make at least one project, so you can plug and play the day it arrives. However, if you're a total beginner and you want some practice before committing to a project, or you want to make multiple pieces, you'll need extra cloth. And I would actually also recommend picking up extra yarn. Like I said earlier in the video, I ended up running out of one colour. Overall though, Clawlab's H1 Lite kit made trying rug tufting as simple as it could possibly be. If you want to try rug tufting yourself, you can use code MIA to get $20 off, and details will also be in the description box below. Thank you to Clawlab for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you for making it all the way to the end. Before you go though, I have one quick question. Do we like this series? Do you guys want me to continue this series? You guys may have forgotten this because according to my upload schedule, I myself have forgotten this, but I actually have a second channel which is for like more project-based videos. It's not super researched or anything like that. So if you do like this series, I could keep it on my main channel, but also I could just like mosey it on over to my second channel if you guys just want to see me like crafting and having a good time and trying new things. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. As always, thank you to my channel members and thank you to you for hanging out with me. Okay, bye.